Okay, today we are going to be looking at page 22 and we're going to be reading about climbing Mount Everest. So the point of this is for us to go ahead and identify the main idea and supporting details in each of these three paragraphs. Now, there's three places that you might find the main idea. One, it might be the first sentence. Two, it might be the last sentence. Or three, it might not directly say it at all, and you kind of just have to feel around and figure out what it is based off of the content. So we're going to go through each of these paragraphs, and I'm going to guide you through it, okay? So I want you to figure it out on your own before you go ahead and see what I've done. So I'm going to read the first paragraph first. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. At 29,038 feet, it is about 20 times taller than some big city skyscrapers. The air at that height is hard to breathe. Climbing Mount Everest is difficult and dangerous. So I want you to ask yourself, which of those sentences might show the main idea? I want you to go ahead and underline the sentence that you think shows the main idea. Okay, so here they're talking a lot about how it's hard to breathe and how tall it is. And then they give us this sentence that's saying climbing Mount Everest is difficult and dangerous. I'd say that the rest of this paragraph definitely proves that. Here's why. One, we're saying it's the tallest mountain in the world. Clearly, it's going to be difficult to climb and dangerous. Also, it is 20 times taller than some big city skyscrapers. Clearly, that's going to be difficult and dangerous to climb. And it's hard to breathe there. Clearly, that's going to make it harder and more difficult and more dangerous to climb. So here's our main idea. Climbing Mount Everest is difficult and dangerous. And here's 1, 2, 3 supporting details for that. All right, let's go ahead and read the second paragraph. The top, or summit, of Everest is always snowy. Glaciers cover most of the mountain. These huge bodies of ice often have deep cracks. Climbers who fall in a crack can become trapped or badly hurt. In summer, heavy snow pounds Everest peaks. In winter, strong winds howl across the mountain. The air is very cold, yet when the snow reflects the sun's rays, it can feel as hot as an oven. Wow. I'm not quite sure that they talked about a lot of things there. A lot of the things that they talked about really made me feel like the weather changes a lot on the mountain. That even though it's always snowy, the weather seems to feel different during different seasons. They didn't directly say that in a sentence though. So I want you to go ahead and on the side, write what you think the main idea is of this paragraph right here. So I would say that the main idea is that while always snowy, the weather on Mount Everest changes with the seasons. Okay, so it's really talking about how the seasons affect how it feels up there, even though it's always snowy. So I'm going to find some things that support that. So huge bodies in the summer, heavy snow pounds Everest peaks, strong winds in the winter, and how the air is very cold, and the snow reflects the sun rays and can feel as hot as an oven. So these details support that during the different seasons, even though that's always snowy, it feels different based off of what's going on. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this third paragraph. We're looking for the main idea. Many people are determined to climb Mount Everest in spite of the danger. Thousands have tried to reach the summit. Carrying heavy supplies, they struggle up the steep, icy cliffs. Most fail to reach the top, but over 600 climbers have overcome all of the challenges and stood on top of the world. I really think that the main idea is in this paragraph. Go ahead and see if you can find it. All right, I'd say it's this. Many people are determined to climb Mount Everest in spite of the danger. I say that's the main idea because that's what they're talking about. All these people that are trying to climb. So, thousands have tried to reach the summit. That gives us a detail. Talking about how they carry all these heavy supplies and they're struggling, proving that it's dangerous. And over 600 climbers have overcome the challenge and stood on top of the world. That lets us know that over 600 people actually have done it. Okay, so the main idea is not always clear, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it's the first sentence, sometimes it's the last sentence, but there's always supporting details to help you figure out the main idea. All right, we're gonna go ahead and look at this part over here now. So here's what the directions say. Think about an exciting event that happened to you. What are 2 important points that you want people to know about it? Write these main ideas on the graphic organizer, then write at least 3 details that support each main idea. Use this information to write 2 paragraphs, one for each main idea. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and I want you to split these boxes into half. Oh, I made an error. You've probably already done that though. I did not read. Okay. If you have already done it, just ignore it. My bad, I didn't read well enough. So main idea, and here are the details. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do one example with you, and then I want you to go ahead and do the rest of them. Okay. So something exciting that happened to me. Was the first time I went hiking. Okay, the first time I went hiking was an adventure. All right, so here are some details that would support that. So I could say I climbed down rocky paths. The path was icy in some parts. And I can say that I stood at the edge of a bluff. So all of that together, my main idea is that the first time I went hiking was an adventure, and my details that support that is that I climbed down rocky paths. The path was icy in some parts, and I stood at the edge of a bluff. Those are all things that make it an adventure. So I would then turn this into a paragraph. You're going to have one that you came up with and another one that you came up with. And you're going to turn that into 2 paragraphs. Okay? So a little bit more today, but you can do it.